Greetings. What is good, everybody? Sweet peaches. Welcome to Peaches and Power Bombs. I am one half of your host, Alora. I can't even talk today. Alora Presley. On my other side here, hey,
What's
er,
up?
is Majestic Marie, and on the bottom below us, got the man of the house tonight. This is a good friend of mine. Does he does a little bit in wrestling, and we'll let him get to that in just a second. His name is Jamey Baxter. Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on and hanging out with us. Before we get started, we'll just Jamey, we'll just have you kind of just tell everybody who you are and go from there.
Not too much to say, really. I'm a big wrestling fan. Been a wrestling fan all my life. I've done some stuff with some indie wrestling, like with IPW, which is in Northwest Florida. Uh, Great little promotion there. Very popular. Met a lot of great wrestlers in the indie scene down there. Uh, Once, I hope is watching tonight. He said he was going to.
Okay.
Uh, so, uh, just just a great to be a part of this. Liked your show. Been
Thank you.
talking to Alora for a while. Uh, Became good friends with her. So glad y'all having me on.
Thank you
I've
for
Yeah.
done
joining us.
I've done kind of like when I was with IPW. I just was kind of an assistant to like the booker there, like the head guy. So I learned really a lot about the way that a show is put on. If you guys have noticed in the comments, I'm pretty good at predicting the way things are gonna go. I've just been able to like I can digest a lot of the information and see kind of where things are going to go and go from there.
All right. Yeah. You've been last couple of shows we did. You've pretty much been participating, and one night after the show, you were like, "Hey, I would like to come on," and I was like, you know what? I think you'd be a good fit to come join us one of these days. So we went
Yeah,
ahead and made it happen, and
yeah,
we're
appreciate it.
we're glad you're here and have fun. um, we got a couple of comments. Another good friend of mine, Julie, and he's right there with Sugar Shane I was telling you about earlier. He says, "Hey, how are y'all doing?" And I think this is one of your friends, Jamey, Ronnie Branch. Thank you for coming on and hanging out with us tonight.
Hey, glad he's on. Yep, asked him to show up.
Well, I'm glad he joined us, and we're going to go ahead and get to it. And one of the things we kind of like to do, I'll let Marie do it, but we have to get started with some Briscoe Brothers right quick, and then we'll roll on with it.
Yes, we always have the Briscoe brothers get us hyped up for the show.
Ain't no way, chick. Ain't ready. There ain't no way, man. Ain't ready. Ain't no way y'all could possibly be ready. You can say you're ready as many times as you want. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Y'all boys ain't ready. There's no way, man. Talking about they anxious. You hear him, chick? Hey, somebody losing sleep.
They losing sleep, baby. Man, I've been getting the best sleep of my life.
I've been snoring, baby.
Snoring,
I've been snoring.
dreaming about this ass.
Never gets old. All right, guys, before we start, we're going to go ahead and get the business part of the way out of the way. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to Peaches and Power Bombs. Give us a like. Tell your friends about us. We have a goal to try to reach 1,000 followers on Facebook by the end of the year. So please tell your friends about us. Let them know that we love talking about wrestling. Even if they don't watch wrestling, maybe they'll learn to like it by watching us. Who knows?
Or
But
they have friends of people that like wrestling. Say, "Hey, I know you like wrestling. Check this out."
you never know what could happen. So please like, share, and subscribe to Peaches and Power Bombs.
Should show them that YouTube video I sent you the other day, Laura, from that guy saying why people should be watching professional wrestling.
Oh gosh, I forgot all about that. I'm glad you reminded me. I will do that.
That was great.
Yes, it was. Stop. Mina's already showing out, y'all. I think
Not
she missed
surprised.
going live.
Well, we had a ton of wrestling this past weekend, like a ton. And, that it's just a lot of fun to be able to just to have so much variety of wrestling on TV to pick and choose from, whatever company fits your fancy, or if you like all of it, you're just, overwhelmed by the amount of wrestling. Although we did get some bad news over the past couple weeks. And if you're a fan of the show, you know that Eddie Kingston is our favorite around here. And I am so sad. I am so sad. Eddie Kingston suffered a very, very bad injury, not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before at the New Japan Pro Wrestling show. He was defending his openweight championship against Gabe Kidd. It was a no ropes match, and Gabe Kidd set up the table way too close to the barricade. And so when he went to do a brain buster on Eddie Kingston, Eddie's legs hit straight onto the barricade just like that, like full force. So he broke his leg, he tore his meniscus, and he tore his ACL. So he has to wait for surgery on his other two, on the muscles that he tore. He has to wait until the end of July in order to get those fixed, because he has to wait for his broken leg to heal. So Eddie is going through it right now. So praying for his speedy recovery in that regard.
Yeah, I would, as you probably know, or I don't know, I like Kingston, okay? Not one of my favorite ones, but the fact that he was able to stick with that angle that he was doing with a broken leg earned a lot of respect for me, because he did a lot after that injury.
He did.
He kept with the injury angle that they were trying to put him out in the attack, and he kept it going. I can't imagine him doing that with a broken leg.
Mm-mm. No, he's a tough cookie. That's for sure.
That was tough. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you have to be in that line of business. But I don't know. Anybody else might have just been like, "Look, I can't do it. I can't do it." So
yeah,
he just went with it, and the toughness of Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, because they did that whole beatdown angle after he was already like legit hurt.
Yeah, it was tough. I think he wrestled for another few minutes after that spot too. It was insane.
Reminds me of Triple H's doctor back in 2002, 2001. You finished the match? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Christine's
you shouldn't even be able to be walking. Let's forget finishing the match.
I'm telling you, they're a whole nother breed.
They are. That adrenaline, though, when it's going through your body, sometimes you don't even feel it until afterwards, and you get back and you're like, I feel like crap. But
Christine's in the house on one of our regulars. She says she hopes everybody is well. I think Ronnie is a fan of our Briscoe intro. And Christine says she didn't realize Eddie was hurt that bad. And Ronnie also adds that the New Japan style is rough. And yes, I have to agree with that.
Yeah, we kind of had another incident of that in AEW last night with Copeland.
Yes.
He got
Good
injured
segue.
about halfway through the match, and he was able to finish.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're going to discuss that later, but
yeah, right. We went ahead and pulled it up since you did such a great segue for that. He tore his
tibia.
Tibia, that's it. Mm-hmm. So he's out probably 6 months. So
that was a nasty
fractured
spot.
his tibia. Sorry, not pulled.
Yeah, and it does require surgery. He did confirm that on his social media sometime this morning.
Yeah. So everybody's getting leg injuries all across the board because even on the Braves, you know, my boy Acuna Jr. just tore his ACL as well, and he's out for the rest of the season. So I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna make it to the World Series now.
Oh. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of broken hearts in Braves country last night.
Yep. I was
you
one
have
of
been
them.
whining for the
So
past 5 minutes, and I bring you on here, and you just want to act like you don't want to be here. Seriously, this is how Mina does.
yep, every time.
She's
Timothy
our
is here too.
mascot.
Hi, Timothy. No ugly words about Eddie Kingston. He's hurt. He's hurt. Okay, leave him alone. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move into the King and Queen of the Ring. That's basically what we're going to talk about tonight, guys, is the King and Queen of the Ring. If you want to talk about AEW and you want to talk about that in depth, Ray Alday and myself are going to do, we're going to cover Double or Nothing on that show tomorrow. So make sure you tune in for that. But we started off with the Women's World Championship between Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. This started off the show, and it was a pretty good match. Of course, everyone was talking about what happened there towards the end. Dominic Mysterio shows up, tries to help Becky with a steel chair, throws it into the ring, and she didn't use it. No, it was sitting there.
Liv used it to her advantage.
Yeah. Liv Morgan used it, and she won 1, 2, 3. And some interesting things happened last night as well. When it went off the air, Liv Morgan gave Dominic a giant smooch on the face. So that's interesting. What's going to happen with Dominic, the Judgment Day, and with Mommy when she comes back, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see what happens with that. So, what did you guys think of the match, and what did you think of the angle afterwards?
I'll let Jamey go first since he's our guest.
I thought it was a pretty solid match, actually. I kind of predicted that Dominique was going to get involved somehow. Not sure exactly where that angle is going to go, because they kind of been teasing it for a little bit that Dominique was going to get involved, possibly even an angle where he was going to align with Liv. Now with this, with the kiss that she gave him, at least at the moment, doesn't look like he reciprocated it. So it might have just been her, like, just trying to rile him up even more, considering he's kind of on his little revenge tour right now, avenging Rhea's injury. So I'm not really sure where that's going to go. I thought it was a very solid match. Better than I was expecting, actually, for those two. Yeah, I liked it. It was good. Good storytelling. Solid work. Very good.
Yeah, I agree on all points. I thought it was a good start to the show.
Yeah.
I do want to mention too. In the pre-show, we had the women's tag titles for grabs, which show Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill retained over Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. I think overall that was a good start, and Becky and Liv just kind of kept it going pretty much. I think a lot of people were not betting on Liv to win, but I think that's a lot of that happens when it comes to Liv Morgan. A lot of people doubt her. A lot of people, that's why she always says cry about it and watch me, because people do doubt her. Liv might not look like the type that could be a dominant women's champion. With that being said, I really like this Liv Morgan revenge tour. the one thing that I don't think anybody can doubt is how hard Liv Morgan has worked through the years. It is obvious every time she goes in the ring. I think to me, she is one of the hardest workers in the women's division. And to see her kind of, enjoy the fruits of her labor, so to speak, right now, that's a good thing. I definitely think she's going to have a really good run. I like what she's doing in terms with Dominic Mysterio. I could say there's love in the Golden Isles, but I was right there with you, Jamie, because I watched that kiss and I was like, Dominic really didn't, he didn't return the kiss or anything. Right. So, yeah, she could definitely be messing with Mommy's, playing mind games with Mommy, and during the whole internet meltdown of everybody reacting to it, I was surprised nobody did the Freddy Krueger chant, like, 1, 2, Mommy's coming for you. Nobody did that, but I was like, oh yeah, when Mommy comes back, Liv better run. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to be watching her, all right, watching her run.
And you're saying that people that expect Liv to win, I kind of expected her to, because right now, Becky's contract is kind of up in the air at the moment.
Right.
So it's not really surprised that they made Becky drop the title right now, since they're renegotiating a contract with her. So it's kind of not that surprising. But, I think Liv will be able to carry it. They're going to be I kind of think Rhea will probably be back for SummerSlam. So you'll probably see Liv and Rhea then for that.
Yeah.
And this is and they'll be able to continue that build up with with Dominique and Liv. I think they'll be able to kind of continue that storyline pretty well all the way up to SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like a lot of people are kind of wondering how Dom's feeling about everything, and who's to say, that could be a plot twist that Dom was just playing along, and what if him and Liv just make out Christian and Trish style at SummerSlam in front of Mommy,
Mm-hmm.
And I think seeing Mommy in that in that way, it just adds to the character depth, because nobody's really seen that side of Rhea. So that's something that could they could easily do if that's what they wanted to go. Be like, Mommy does have a soft side, because we all know Rhea is this ultimate badass, and I kind of think of China and Eddie, and I really I see this all over what Liv and Dom and Mommy, all of that. I just think of Eddie and China, and
I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That mullet and that mustache,
Yeah, Christine said that mustache has to go. Oh, he's young. He's trying to find himself. You never know. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, too, with Becky's contract status, I wasn't really aware of that till after she lost the title. Something that I read today online, and this is rumor, but Becky might not even sign right now. She might just take a little hiatus, which is completely understandable. She's a mom. Becky's been going since she returned. She wants to take a break, then by all means do it. Whatever she wants to do, if she's happy, I'm happy. At the end of the day, she's human just like the rest of us. Yep. She has the baby at home, and if she wants to spend time with her, because Rue is almost at preschool age. Yeah. So, yeah, if Becky wants to spend some time with her before, she goes to school and whatnot. Let's see.
Well, Becky has gone on record in saying that Rue is almost getting to that age where traveling on the bus all the time is not really going to be an option because she's going to be going to school soon and she's going to need the roots of being in one place at one time,
Right.
and everything like that. So she's already made comments like that, which proves to me she's more than likely taking time off. I don't see her in AEW.
No.
People are speculating that too. I think she's smart enough not to go to AEW, and I'm not knocking AEW and saying that it's a horrible place or anything like that, but they have too many people on the roster, and she could get lost in the shuffle, and she definitely is not the talent to get lost in the shuffle. So I don't see her leaving, and Seth is still there too. So why would she completely make it even more difficult to keep her family together when she's already talked about Rue needing more stability? Why would she just blow that all up and go somewhere else on a different schedule?
Yeah, I think I fully agree. If she's not going to re-sign, it's just because she wants time off. There's no way, shape, or form she's going to AEW. That just won't happen. I love AEW. I would like to see other people in AEW. She would be a good star there. She's going to be a great star in WWE. There's just no reason for her to go.
Right.
She's good Becky, where she is.
I think Becky, more or less proved herself, and she really doesn't need to prove herself anywhere else. And she's still fairly, young. She's in her early to mid 30s, so she could take the time off, rest her body, do what needs to be done by her family, and when she's ready to return, I'm pretty sure the WWE Universe will welcome her with open arms.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So
they don't want her to go now.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of wished I would have went to Savannah last night because, that was the last time we saw her for a while, man. Dang, I could have been there and sent her off. Ronnie, you're right.
Steel cage match too.
Yeah. Ronnie, that's a good point. That's one of the things both Michael Cole and Corey Graves pointed out. Liv was so close yet so far this year since coming back. She was number 30 at the Royal Rumble. She was the last one eliminated, and she was like one of the last ones in the Elimination Chamber too, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like a series. She was so close yet so far. So it's kind of like more or less Liv was obsessed with taking Mommy's championship. Even though Becky did it first, Liv wasn't going to stop at nothing to get that championship and basically, in a way, make Mommy pay for putting her out last year. So, what?
Yep.
Sorry, yep. Nina threw in her 2 cents.
She agrees.
Yeah.
And back to the AEW thing, I don't think Becky would have anything to prove over there either. She has been one of the biggest wrestling stars, period, male or female, in the past 10 years. And, she main evented WrestleMania. She won that match. Her and Ronda and Charlotte had probably the most talked about and the most popular wrestling match that year at WrestleMania. Everybody knows who she is. So she doesn't have anything to prove over there. And, when she does come back to WWE and she wants to wrestle again, it's going to be exciting to see her back.
Mina, that's enough. Thank you. Our good friend Tim Sherry, he said he's being sarcastic here. Becky should consider AEW. It's gone so well for Saraya and Mercedes there. Well, Mercedes just won the TBS championship with Marie and Ray all day. We'll talk about more tomorrow. I do want to mention that Saraya has an appearance on the Dumb Blonde podcast that's dropping tomorrow with Bunny XO, the wife of Jelly Roll. She has a very successful podcast, very good podcast, and she's been promoting the shit out of it on TikTok, and she does talk about the controversy with those tapes. That was the clip that was dropped today. So I wanted to go ahead and plug that just in case anybody wants to check it out. I'm actually kind of curious to see what Saraya does have to say. Is Saraya in another clip too? Saraya did confirm that at one point she was pregnant. I'm not sure when, but it was probably within the last year or so. They did have a clip where she briefly mentioned that she had an ectopic pregnancy, and all that will be covered on that podcast tomorrow. So if anybody wants to go check it out, Dumb Blonde is on Spotify. All that is, it's a great listen, especially to, you know, other women who, you know, want something different to listen to. Bunny interviews all kinds of women, and it's really good podcast. I just wanted to say that.
And Saraya has also gone on her social media platforms and talked about Mercedes too, and kind of maybe hinting at something happening between the two of them in the future on AEW programming. So it'll be interesting to see if anything comes of it or not, or if they're just, you know, making noise on social media.
Yeah. And you know, with all that being said, I do hope that Saraya is doing better in terms of her health. We all know how, you know, she's been having neck injuries and, you know, having to be out. So, you know, you just kind of want the best for her, and you just hope that they're okay, because Saraya is still very, very young. Christine, to be honest with you, I do not miss Charlotte. I probably would be happy if we never saw her again, but that's just my opinion. But
boo, boo, boo. I'm guessing around SummerSlam-ish is when she will be healthy enough to be back. As far as when they're actually going to use her, I don't know when. Obviously, because I'm not privy to that.
Yeah, she could very well make her comeback at SummerSlam.
But we'll have to see.
Yeah, she should be able to come back pretty quick, I think, now. I think I want to say she was cleared, but I'm not 100% sure of that.
I know her recovery was going quicker than they expected it to, I think is what I had heard the last. But that was like a month ago, so I don't know.
They might just be waiting until SummerSlam. You never know either.
All right, well, next up on the card was a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship, and it was Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed. I was kind of in and out of this match. I didn't mean for it to be. It's not that it was so boring. It had to be the bathroom match. It's just that I had to go. So sometimes you just got to go. So I was in and out. I don't know. I do know that there was a spot at the very end with Otis accidentally hitting Chad Gable with a clothesline and kind of costing Chad Gable the match there, where Sami Zayn was able to pin Bronson Reed, I believe, for the win. So,
yeah, I think that part was very well done. I see that Chad Gable's getting the Kurt Angle treatment with the "you suck." But yeah, I thought this was a very well done match. I love the ovation Sami Zayn got. That gave me straight chills. And I know that's so important for Sami to embrace his culture, his religion, and he put on a good match too. I think Bronson Reed did fairly well. You know, all three guys are different size, and I think they really worked it out well. I love the fact that Otis was kind of, you know, you had that decision with Otis and Chad Gable, and it's kind of like, okay, did he mean to or did he not mean to? But boy, if looks could kill at the end of the match, Otis would have been a damn man.
Yeah, the double German suplex spot was kind of nice.
Too. Yeah.
I'm like, man, that was impressive. The fact that Gable could get over Bronson on a German is good enough, but the way that they did it, I mean, I know how it the spot was done, but it was still impressive to see.
Oh
that
yeah, very well
Gable is supposed
executed.
to be strong enough with a German that he got them both over.
Oh, I love the fact that Bronson kind of rolled over after the fact too. It looked really good. It was very well done. And obviously, there was no way Sami Zayn was going to lose in Saudi Arabia, but all men put on good effort, even Otis. So I very much enjoyed this match.
No, and I'm glad Sami Zayn won because I love Sami, but I do think Gable is a very, very underrated wrestler
Yes.
because they made him, kind of lose so long, but you could tell he's like super talented. I mean, he's in that that Kurt Angle mold.
Yeah,
but they've never let him like rise to Kurt Angle's level as far as booking is concerned. But he's like super talented.
And the fact that he stuck with it all these years is a testament to I really, really hope to see Chad Gable get some kind of nice singles title run in the near future. I definitely think he deserves that. And even like with the King of the Ring now, obviously now that everything is kind of in the hands of Triple H, I see somebody like Chad Gable benefiting from that. That was something that I kind of thought about during this match. Like, and just give the man his just due because he has done this for so long. He has done everything the company has asked of him.
Yeah.
Even when he looked stupid, he did it. He did it to the best of his ability. Reward the man. I think he deserves it.
Yep. But
Yep,
I can't
absolutely.
go against my man El Generico though.
No.
Yeah.
Zayn had his trials and tribulations too, so I'm really glad to see him literally living his best life. I mean, the thing with the bloodline just did astronomical wonders for Sami, and I just couldn't be happier for him.
Yep. I was there that night when he attacked Roman Reigns after the Royal Rumble, and that place, number one, I had never seen that many people at the Greenville Auditorium for wrestling in forever, because it was always half empty between during the early and mid 2010s or whatever. It was always halfway empty. I had never seen them sell that place out, but that's how good the bloodline story and stuff was. It was helping sell out everywhere. That place went unglued when Sami came out and attacked Roman Reigns. It was great. It was great to see. And I don't know where Sami Zayn goes from here. I'm kind of more interested in seeing where Chad Gable goes from here. I know there's going to be something with Otis at some point, whether Otis fully embraces the bad stuff or if he, goes full-blown babyface and goes against what Chad Gable is doing. At some point, though, after this thing with Otis is over with, I'm kind of wondering what is next for Chad Gable. Does he continue on the trek for the Intercontinental Championship, or do you maybe divvy him off into a different direction, maybe have him win Money in the Bank or something like that?
That's a possibility.
One of the things I had heard as far as that was concerned was that they would possibly break up the Alpha Academy.
Okay.
And he would get 2 new people in a new academy, and he would team up basically with the Creed brothers.
Yes, I would love that.
It would be the Creed brothers and Gable, and they would probably end up starting a feud right at the beginning, probably with the remnants of the old Alpha Academy, Otis and Tozawa, and then just move on from there.
I could see Chad Gable and Otis like kind of facing off at SummerSlam. Maybe I'm not saying in a high profile match, but I could see like a pre-show or one of the first matches on the card because it's enough to get people interested. But there's room room for it to grow, especially like
I-
you said with the Creed brothers and stuff. And you know, that's something that could kind of continue. You could have the Creed brothers come out and help Chad Gable or something, you know.
Yeah, because that would basically be like the second coming of Team Angle, basically.
Yeah.
And that would be great, I think.
Well,
and I definitely see, you know, Gable's going to fight Otis. That's obvious.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
at
gonna
some
happen.
point it's going to happen.
And you know, too, Otis is a fan favorite, so you know you can't sleep on Otis. Otis has got a lot of charisma. I love his personality. He definitely is over with the fans. So I would love to see this happen and see what happens with him for sure.
Well, and a cool thing too is that Ivy Nile, who has, you know, she's kind of real, you know,
Sticking up for Maxine.
well, she's sticking up for Maxine, but she's also affiliated with the Creed brothers, so you know she
Ooh,
could like
yeah.
kind of be in the middle of this somehow. So
Hmm.
there's that link, there's a connection there. So it would be interesting to see how all of that plays out.
Oh, the drama is there for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as Sami Zayn is concerned, I'm kind of scratching my head on what's next for him.
Don't know with him. I think they'll keep him until they can decide if there's somebody else that needs an Intercontinental run. I think Sammy more than deserves a good run for what he did with the Bloodline. So, and I've liked him again since he was El Generico. So,
yeah,
I mean, the dude's awesome. So
I
hope he gets a good run.
was going to say too that, you know, I know we got rumors of the new Wyatt family coming in. Could Sami Zayn possibly be a target? I know there's been talk of Jey Uso being a target, but what if they target Zayn too? You know, because we're kind of thinking, you know, don't seem like there's a whole lot for Zayn to do right now. So, do you think that's a possibility, or we might have to wait a little longer to see what they got planned for Sammy?
Well, with Jay, I think would be a prime target for the new Wyatt family.
Yeah.
But because of
Yeah.
Jay is friends with Sammy, I could see both of them involved in the same program. Yeah.
That's a good point, because I certainly didn't think of that.
Yeah, because Sammy and Jay
I was getting there.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that'd be something
definitely see
cool.
that.
Or you could have like an up and comer like Braun Breaker go after Sammy at some point, because he's on a rampage right now. He's not very happy with Adam Pearce and the management. He's saying, why am I being left off the card? Why am I not in this? Why am I not doing that?
Ooh,
and
that's a good.
Yeah.
He's showing up during matches and just attacking people willy-nilly. So, he might just show up and get in the Intercontinental Champion's face at some point. Who knows?
Yeah,
that's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I could definitely see that happening. Yeah. So there's things there. It's just a matter of them coming to fruition and kind of working itself out.
Christine is sick of Chad Gable. I get it. He's a dastardly little heel right now, so I can understand the frustration.
Ronnie says El Generico for life. That's why y'all are friends.
Master of that Blue Thunder Bomb, baby. Love that move.
Mina has decided to lay down, so I think we're not going to hear a peep from her for a little while.
She wore herself out.
She did.
Well, moving along to the Queen of the Ring finals here, we had Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax. I didn't know too much about Lyra all that much because I didn't. There's so much wrestling, you have to kind of pick and choose what you're going to watch, and NXT kind of fell off the wagon around here a long time ago, not meaning to. And sometimes I'll go back and watch things, but I didn't know too much about her. So I kind of got to know her during this tournament. And She impressed me during this match. I know there's some people around our podcast family that is not a fan of Nia Jax.
Ron.
And there was some parts in this match where I was a little concerned for Lyra there at the end, especially. And but overall, it was okay. It did its job. I think Nia Jax was the right person to win. She's gonna go on probably to challenge Bayley at SummerSlam, and that's all good too. So, Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax.
Jamie.
Honestly, the Queen of the ring bracket, I don't think it like kind of played out the way that they wanted it to. It just kind of felt weird. The decisions they made all the way through that tournament, as far as the matchmaking goes, I don't know what was going on with that.
I think on the SmackDown side, they realized that if they didn't do something tricky, that they were going to have a problem on their hands and have to have Bianca and Jade face each other, and they couldn't have that. So they had
that was one of it. I was like, they cannot have saw that when they seeded that tournament, but that's what it felt like. With the whole thing with Cargill and basically intentionally getting disqualified.
Yeah,
that was just a way to avoid that match. And that was pretty weak booking. Like, you couldn't see that when you they shouldn't have been in the same tournament together, because you know that's going to happen.
And then on the Raw side, it was full of heels and like one or two baby faces. So I was like, they're baby faces, and they weren't really strong baby faces either, or not ones that were established yet.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, who's I don't get who's going to win. Are we going to have a heel versus a heel in the finals with Shayna versus Nia? What's going on here? And that didn't happen. And you know, I didn't mind them using the tournament to build up Lyra, though. You know, because now I really like her, and I'm excited to see what she does next.
Yeah, I like her. I just didn't see her with the Queen gimmick, slapped on her, though. So I was like, okay, so you're going to have Lyra and Nia. So which way are you going to go with this? It just seemed like a weird final to me. Because a lot of people, as you kind of hit on, a lot of people don't like Nia. I mean, even as a heel, people just don't like her. But she's got the gimmick now. Let's see what she does with it. They need to do something. It's just weird, because it's just weird to me that she's the Queen of the Ring winner this year, and she was basically jobless a year ago. So something happened.
Yeah.
Where that they really, really saw potential in her again and are giving her another shot. Man, Lyra, I was scared at that spot at the finishing that match, because it did not look like she braced herself well, and I think Lyra got her gut squeezed out.
Yes. Nia Jax put her full body weight on that girl when she fell when she came down, and that's one thing. I don't like to critique in-ring work, because I've never taken a bump in my life, so I hate to do it, but at the same time, if I see it, I feel like, it's a problem if I see it.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like,
oh. I was scared, and she does that a lot, and I'm like, girl, you need to do something. I don't know. You don't need to put your full weight on, come full force down. I don't know. Watch some Yokozuna and see how he did it. I don't know.
I was just about to say, look at Yokozuna back in the day. He made it look so real, but you could tell he was able to kind of shift his weight a little bit, not too much, but guys are a lot stronger than women in that sense, though. But
Well, if you can't do it safely, then you don't need to do it at all.
Right, yeah.
That spot is a very dangerous spot to begin with. It doesn't give it's a pretty dangerous thing. I mean, Yoko, as good as he was, he's actually hurt people with it before.
Yeah.
He didn't mean to, but he did. It's very hard to drop and hold yourself like that when you come down.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
I'm not blaming Nia for it. It's just a dangerous spot. She didn't mean to. But you could tell that it didn't go exactly the way it was planned. I mean, that was the finish. Nia was going to win, but Nia definitely got a little bit careless with it again. And Valkyrie got almost hurt, but she seemed okay on Raw, but a little sore.
The one thing I got out of this whole thing, Queen in the Ring build up, one, it was a whole lot better than last year because I felt like Selena Vega deserved more justice. She was the first Queen in the Ring, which I'm happy for, but we all know how poor the build up was and stuff, and I felt bad for her. So this year was already at a better start. I mean, it had its mishaps, like the whole thing with Bianca and all that, but I think I'll start with Lyra. I didn't know much about Lyra either, but in that match, she was very impressive. She was very impressive, and my first thought was like, man, when I saw her in the final, I was like, they are high on her. Her to get on the main roster and skyrocket, I was like, oh yeah, they're high on her.
Well, I'm a big fan of NXT, and even for NXT, she went through that system fast. I mean, she was only in NXT for like a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before she was on main roster. That's quick.
That is quick. How long was Braun Breaker down there?
The whole time she was there. I mean, she's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was the one that beat Becky Lynch for the NXT championship last year. That's something to note as well. But yeah, that was my first thought. I was like, wow, they're really high on her, and I see why. She's great in the ring.
Yeah.
Even going up against somewhat of Nia's stature, I could just, Lyra had a game plan, and I think with Nia, less was more for her, and it worked in this match. They did kind of do the whole David and Goliath thing, but ultimately Nia was too much for her. I think from what I've seen, and I could be wrong, but I've noticed, I was like, Nia seems to have dialed down her movements a little bit, with the exception at the end, of course. But I felt like a lot of it was dialed down, which is good. But for her, less is more. And but I really think her spots with Lyra was pretty good. And I really like how Lyra was trying to do like the trip and all that, and Nia just caught it. It was like,
yeah, that was cool.
That was real. I think they definitely did some practice spots, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it looked really good on the both of them through the match. Ultimately, Nia was too much for Lyra. And with the whole thing with Bianca and Jade, I think they were very smart in how they got Nia to bait them into, getting disqualified so she advanced. Typical heel move. I mean, picking on the child, I thought that was really clever. I was like, that is one way you take Jade out of the equation. I said that, so that was well done. And then, of course, Bianca's playing up a knee injury. But yeah, could there have been a different Queen in the Ring? Yeah, perhaps. But I like the fact that Nia's basking in the glory. Everybody hates her. She knows it. She's using it to her advantage. So, and I like the quote that she said. She's like, nobody likes that I win, but I like that I win. I was like, that is total heel attitude. She knows it. She doesn't care.
I think given the choices that she was probably the best bet, knowing that the person, whoever it is going against whatever championship at SummerSlam. Well, Liv Morgan is spoken for more than likely with Rhea Ripley more than likely coming back. Her injury wasn't something that was going to keep her out for months and months and months and months and months. So she'll be back by then. You know, Bayley, she needs a big monster heel to come after her for SummerSlam. So Nia Jax is a good fit for that. And I will say that her makeup and her hair was really pretty that night too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what do we got here?
Christine says she doesn't think Nia cares if she hurts people or not.
She does.
And she's gonna crush somebody's ribcage before long. And our good friend Ray all day is in the house. He says
my
Adam
co-host
Cole
on Listy Nights.
Adam Cole is king. MJF stinks. Orange Cassidy is 7.25 pounds, and the Osprey match was awesome. Ray all day is one of a kind here. We got to do it for him, Marie. If you don't, I'll find it. If you don't, hold on. I got it.
Osprey only has 5-star matches. I don't think he knows how to do anything else. Roderick Strong match, awesome.
Yes,
awesome.
It was good. It was really good.
Oh God, he's so amazing.
All right, moving on to the King of the Ring. This match was probably my favorite of the night. Gunther versus Randy Orton.
This was good.
I love Gunther. He's probably my favorite right now on WWE, not overall. But there was a little bit of controversy there at the end, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. They've already hinted at that on Monday Night Raw, where Damian Priest pretty much got in Gunther's face, started laughing and saying, "You didn't actually beat Randy Orton. His shoulder was up." So I don't know if that was intentional or if it just kind of happened and they're using it now or what's going on with that. And Randy Orton is just perfection. He's just perfection. I don't know. He's good at everything.
Yeah, between him and Cody Rhodes, they definitely get the Judas treatment in terms of songs. I love it for them.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Talking. I'm going to have to log off for just like a minute because my allergies just went crazy. So excuse me.
Okay, you're good. I got it. This is definitely a dream match. Two technicians that are very good at what they do. I don't think it disappointed. I think the whole theme of the match was methodical. Tried to take them down the best way I know how,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those matches I didn't want either guys to lose. And it's like, I don't see either guy getting booked to lose. This is like, who's going to lose this match?
Yeah.
It's like, I knew as I've talked about before, I think Gunther is going to get the title next. So they needed a path open for Gunther to get the title. Now it's open for him. So I thought that he was going to win. Orton also doesn't need King of the Ring at this point in his career.
No, he don't.
I think he has a good future ahead of him. Such a young dude. He's doesn't need King of the Ring. Gunther, I think, could pull off that gimmick if they want to do it with him, but I don't think they're going to. As far as the
Marie, we can't hear you.
What's that?
Marie was talking and we couldn't hear her. You're good.
As far as the shoulder up, Orton was that whole kind of series of the finish was a little off, which is unusual for those two dudes to be off on anything.
Anything, yeah.
I think that they didn't mean for his shoulder to be up. I think it was supposed to be a definitive finish, but they're just making lemonade out of lemons right now.
Yeah.
Corey Graves actually probably should give credit for it because he noticed it on commentary a little bit after that. And I think just the way that they've kind of played this out, it's like, oh man, we messed up the finish, but we have an excuse for them two to fight again. so
I
it's like
wouldn't be mad at a second match.
No,
exactly, because it was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. I like how they played it off though, because Randy kind of wins. It was like Randy Winston pain, and then it was like Gunther took advantage of it,
Yeah.
and so they played off that way. I think it was Corey Graves or Michael Cole, one of the two, played it off that way, and I was like, yeah, I believe that. I would believe that, especially when it just happened the way it did. It happened so fast because it came off a second RKO. Randy kind of waited a second too long, and Gunther knew he was in pain and just took full advantage.
Yeah, I don't think that Gunther is going to do the King gimmick. He hasn't even put it on. He just holds it, and there's no robe or scepter or anything like that. I mean, I guess he could dress Kaiser up as a jester, but I don't think he can do that. But Kaiser, in his own little right, has his own little feud going on with Sheamus, so they don't see him as a complete joke either. So that's
the ring, might I add.
Yeah, that's fun. A fun little development that started, and with Randy, I was actually while Gunther, I'm always rooting for Gunther to win. I was actually expecting Randy to win because not that he needs it, but the fact that they get a title shot and him going after Cody would be really fun. It could keep Cody busy for a while. Right now he's just been kind of doing these little one-off stuff and just kind of playing around Cody while they're trying to figure out what to do with him after he beat Roman Reigns. And the classic mentor versus student.
Yeah.
I still think that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. They don't need King of the Ring for that.
No, but it would have been a setup for that. It would have been a reason for Randy to get in his face and then finally, I don't know, go full heel or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Orton versus Cody's coming soon.
Regardless if it's Survivor Series or Mania or whatever, it's definitely a big marquee match given their history alone, with the legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Ronnie said he had to run. He said he enjoyed the show. Nice commentary from all three of us. I thank you and appreciate you for coming on and hanging out with us.
Yes.
Dylan, thank you for joining us. He says, "Let's go."
Hi, Dylan. He's frequent on Issa's watch-alongs and everything. And
okay.
He came to hang out with us. Thank you so much, Dylan. Much love.
Christine is obviously a fan of Randy, just like we are, and she wanted Randy to win.
Yeah, I didn't want either guy to lose.
No.
I know.
I love Randy.
It's definitely one of those fight forever matches.
Oh, yeah. And
it was
they
who
put
won?
on a clinic. That was a great match.
Like,
one of our good friends, Joe Panthers here. He says, "Keep up the great work. Good to see you. Hadn't seen you in a while." And Kaiser's such a putz and annoying little butt. A lot of the guys would agree with you, Christine, as he dates Tiffany Stratton.
That's funny. I didn't realize that Kaiser was actually that tall. He's as tall as Gunther is, and I had no idea.
Really?
Yes.
You really don't know how tall they are, actually. I mean, you can see it on TV all day long, but if you actually see it in person, whether it's in the ring or you actually met them in person, you're like really surprised because John Moxley is one of those guys that you think's probably about 6 foot. No, he's about 6'4", and you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
No,
Well, we're used to seeing Gunther go up against these smaller guys and everything, like Chad Gable and Kofi Kingston and stuff like that. And then when he was going up against Randy Orton, I was like, he's the smaller of the two. This is weird. All right, I guess we're moving on to the main event of the evening. It was the Cody Rhodes, our undisputed champion, versus Logan Paul. And I have to say that one, they did a camera angle with a drone or something while Logan Paul went up to, the top rope. Cody was on the announcer's table, and the drone went around him like this, and he took a drink of his prime spit, did the Triple H spit out thing before he jumped on Cody. That was fantastic. I love the new camera angles. Whoever is doing it now I love them. Don't fire them, please.
yeah, that was a great shot. Yeah, great camera shot.
Logan Paul keeps impressing me. I think this was his, what they say, I think he's had 11 total matches, and this was his 8th singles match altogether. So the fact that he hasn't even had 20 matches yet, and he's already doing what he's doing, crazy.
I think there's no question Logan Paul is just naturally gifted in the ring. He's worked very hard. He's had great praise, good review after good review. So with somebody like that, and they continuously put on good performances, I think that's just good on all sides. I know I'm not big on part-timers or whatever, but Logan Paul has actually done really good at making appearances too. So
he's not really a part-timer anymore. I think.
No, yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah,
I don't think he can decide what he wants yet. Like, I think he wants to be a full-timer. He really feels like he wants to be. He just can't make that full commitment yet.
Yeah.
Because he has put in so much work not to be a full-timer.
Yeah.
I really can't. I'm not a big fan of Paul, but I cannot believe he is as good as he has become with that little bit of training that he's had and the few matches that he's had. He has just exponentially gets better every match. And this match was fantastic. It was one I was not particularly looking forward to that much because, again, I don't like Paul, but I respect his ability. That match was great. It was really good.
It was. I knew it was going to be really good and it was going to be fun to watch, but I wasn't like, there was no investment in it. So I was like, not like chomping at the bit to see it, but I knew it was going to be good because Cody Rhodes is amazing. Logan Paul is getting to be amazing. And there's a reason why when the WWE champion has nothing to do that they throw Logan Paul in there because he can make it look really good. So
yeah, it's not the first time they did it. They did it with Reigns.
In Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, we need our champion to have a throwaway match. Here you go, Logan. He goes, okay. So I'm chomping at the bit for Logan Paul versus LA Knight for that US title at some point. That's the match.
Do you think that could be SummerSlam?
I would love for it to be SummerSlam anytime.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the only match I didn't really get to see, but I knew it wasn't going to suck. I didn't have a chance to watch it, but I had no doubts that it was that wasn't a good match. Or
and we cannot discuss this match without The awesome move that was previously banned that Cody Rhodes did, the Vertebreaker.
Oh.
That move is awesome. And I'm glad that they're letting WWE do it again. Very dangerous move, but it looks awesome. And Cody and him did it. Paul did it perfectly.
And I forgot to mention the story that they were telling with Michael Cole being involved, trying to keep. He was holding a Logan's brass knuckles that he usually uses, and he was kind of getting involved there, and Logan Paul was getting in Michael Cole's face, and Corey Graves stepped up and got in Logan's face there for a few seconds. That was interesting. I was like, what are we doing here? But it's fun. It's kind of fun seeing Michael Cole become, I don't know, more energized and more into the show and everything. It's been that's been fun too. So
don't let the reins go on Michael Cole, and he is absolutely so much better now that he doesn't have Vince screaming in his ear the whole broadcast.
Yeah, he's always been good commentary, but he's much better now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
And
I can't believe he's been doing commentary almost at least 25 years. It just doesn't seem like it. Because it was like he kind of like was weaved in with JR and them, and then he just kind of fit right on in. He used to annoy me, but now it's just kind of like I respect him and then I appreciate him a whole lot more now. And I think a lot of people knew that, with Vince screaming in his ear all the time and stuff, you just really wasn't getting that authenticity. But Michael Cole's held his own, and I definitely think he's a future Hall of Famer, and he's definitely going to go down as one of the greats when it comes to commentary, just for the fact he stuck out this long. I mean, and he's actually very good. I think a lot of people got respect from the night that Jerry Lawler had that heart attack live on Raw. He handled that like effortlessly, like anybody else would have probably fell apart, but he like exemplified such professionalism, calmness. On the inside, he was probably freaking out, but that's the one thing that will always stand out to me when it comes to him. It's just how professional he was and, how he handled that,
Yeah, that had to have been just terrorizing almost. I mean,
it happened like right there in front of him too. I know I would be freaking out. Mina's putting in her 2 cents as well, even though she has no idea what we're talking about.
Well, Christine is not a fan of Logan Paul. She says he's a cheater and doesn't deserve praise. Oh man. All right, so that was the King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view. I thought it was good from beginning to end. I enjoyed it. I don't know. WWE has been doing less is more lately. And I really appreciate that, of being an old person who doesn't like to, be up too late, because I had to wait until later to watch it. I couldn't watch it in the afternoon, so I had to wait until that evening to watch it. So I was very thankful it didn't keep me up all night. So
yeah, Double or Nothing went long.
It was forever.
It was a long event. It was great, but it was long.
Yep. There at the end, I was like, okay, they're probably just gonna, kill each other a little bit more, and then the elite's gonna win. So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it off and go home. But
yeah, King of the Ring was, like a typical, what a pay-per-view should generally be, about 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did what it needed to do.
Yeah, exactly. Like WrestleMania, too long. It's always been too long, and it's even longer now because it's 2 days. And
I'm just glad it's 2 nights.
If you saw the announcement, They said SummerSlam in 2026
Yep.
is
Yeah.
going to 2 days.
Yep.
Not a fan. I love wrestling.
I just want them
but
to
that's
bring
just too
some.
long.
SummerSlam needs to come to Atlanta. They've never been to Atlanta, and I'd love to see them come to Atlanta.
I think SummerSlam being the 2 days is only for that particular time because Minnesota was supposed to get WrestleMania and they didn't get it and they were a little sad. And so they're like, okay, well, we'll give you 2 nights of SummerSlam instead. And I'm
I hope
sure
so.
I'm sure the people who travel for the events and stuff are very thankful that it's SummerSlam and not WrestleMania because that would be cold in early April. So thank goodness
Well,
they're like, yay.
it would be inside. US Bank is inside, I think.
Okay, well, it's still cold.
It's still cold, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if I went to WrestleMania 30 and 31 and those were extremely long. Like I was so exhausted the next day.
Sure.
So 2 nights isn't as bad, but at least you're not like sitting in the sun for hours at a time either, but I think it has its pros and cons.
And also remember on WrestleMania weekend they throw an NXT PLE in there too.
Oh yeah, now they do.
So makes it even longer.
Yeah, like 9-10 years ago, I was exhausted. God, I'd be just as exhausted now. Because on top of all that, you have your fan access. I think they call it something entirely different now, but you have your meet and greets. Then you got WrestleCon, and you got all these other wrestling events going on. There's some people that probably don't even sleep that entire weekend, and I'm like, how do you do it?
Ring of Honor has been putting a pay-per-view on that Friday.
Yeah.
The same night as SmackDown. In the same town too, by the way. So
yeah,
if you might have some people go to that as well, and then it's a lot.
Yes.
All right.
You definitely have to do some strategic planning.
So we've been here for an hour and we don't want to take too much more of Jamey's time, but we do want to mention one thing on Double or Nothing really quick.
We just can't not talk about it,
That is, the devil himself, MJF, making his triumphant return. They had that great match with Roddy and Will Ospreay, which was a good segue for Adam Cole just to come out there and berate the fans and tell them about, how bad his recovery's been going because of all of you. It's all your fault and blah blah blah. And here he comes, MJF. We started out with a vignette where they showed the pictures and him throwing them away, and then out he comes, and he attacks Adam Cole, and then he proceeds to do a very long promo. Was it just me, guys, or did it feel like him going after the revenge on Adam Cole was kind of not the focal point of him coming back? That we are going to take care of this. We're nipping it in the bud so we don't have to think about it anymore. Bye-bye, Adam Cole. You're out of MJF's radar. We're moving on to something else. Did that feel like what was going on with you guys? Because it did to me.
That's what I took out of it, yeah. I don't think that he's going to go after Adam Cole or his faction when he's back. I think he's going to go straight for the top again. He's going to go after a championship. That's where he feels he should be. A lot of people think that's where he should be. And he's just going to come in there and kick ass. That's all he's going to do.
Is Wolverine still injured?
With the spray tan. It's going to go in there and kick ass.
Yes.
Excuse me. So Adam Cole is still injured?
Yes. I think it's taking him longer to recover because
that's what I was thinking. Who's to say that Adam Cole will get his lick back eventually? Because that would make sense. I was very I was very happy to see MJF come back. I figured we were going to have the whole bidding war for 2024, but he didn't really give us too much to
Speculate.
Yeah, tattoo and all. I was like, okay then. But the fact of the matter is here.
I'm better than you, and you know it.
I think everybody missed MJF.
Yeah,
I did.
I don't ever got the feeling that he legitimately ever would consider going to WWE. I think it's not just the money, which WWE obviously could offer him, but
Yeah.
Tony Khan also has that kind of money, which he's shown the money that he spent on Mercedes Moné. He will open the pocketbook if he has to. So I don't think that was an issue, but he would. I think he would feel that he would probably be too restricted if he went to WWE.
He
Perhaps.
definitely
he
wouldn't be
loves
able to
doing
say the F word.
promos. He loves doing promos, and he wouldn't be able to do the kind of promos that he likes to do in WWE. I don't think.
It really and truly, MJF is one of the 4 pillars of AEW. When you think of AEW, people say, "Oh, husbands go there." They said it with WCW too, but AEW has created their own stars, and MJF is absolutely on the top of that list.
Yes,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
I think MJF still has a whole lot in the pot to prove, and his work's not done in AEW. I for one am glad to see him stay with AEW. I feel like he gives AEW that edge. I think he will, as far as the attendance issues goes, I think that's going to help a lot of. MJF is a moneymaker. People come to see MJF, so I'm not saying that AEW is like terrible or anything. There could be a lot of factors as to why attendance is low. That's kind of one of those things that you kind of, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, I don't think it's because they suck. But yeah, MJF is definitely going to help that problem out for sure.
I'm just thinking about what Wembley is going to be like with MJF back.
Oh man, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because I think so far they've sold about 40,000 tickets.
Our friend Sam Walsh is going there, isn't he?
More than likely. I know he's going to Clash of the Castle.
Yeah, he did say that. Mm-hmm.
More than likely because, them over there, they don't care. They're just happy to have wrestling. So they'll go and watch anything that decides to come over there. But I think he will help the ticket sales. We need something good for him to spark the interest. We want to see MJF versus whoever it is. So the only thing that I just don't know who right now. It's the waters are a little bit muddy.
No pun intended. They'll definitely go all in and all out for the UK.
Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to jump him straight to Swerve. I mean, they'll feed him somebody else before that.
Yeah,
I just don't know who.
Yeah, the thing is that he's coming back as a heel, right? Is my guess. He has unfinished business with Samoa Joe, but Samoa Joe is a heel too. So I'm just like, I don't know. I really don't.
He's going to come back as a cheered heel, like a Steve Austin heel.
Yeah, you love to hate him, and
yeah, he's a heel, but you love him.
Okay,
that's what he's going to do.
Yeah. Christine, yes, MJF has been the lovable a-hole that we all know and love.
He's our scumbag.
Yeah. I have to say I did miss MJF, and like I said when we were talking about doing the show, I was like, we just cannot talk about MJF because that was huge. I mean, it was good to see him come back. In what capacity he's going to be in just yet, we have no idea, but I know
No,
we are
no.
all excited, and yes,
Yeah.
Mia is excited too.
Yeah,
Well, that's
definitely
good.
glad he's back. And AEW just does not seem the same when he's not here.
No,
Yeah.
no. And
Well, I'm
maybe
just
in a
glad he's
year,
recovered.
maybe in a year when Eddie comes back, I'll get my long-awaited MJF versus Eddie feud because I've been waiting for that. Ever since MJF put out that list of people that he wanted to face, and he was going down that list one at a time there for a while, and then he never got to Eddie's name, and I'm like, it's right there, please do. Carlos would be out of this world. I want this so bad, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I think that covers everything. Jamey, do you have anything to plug before we go?
No, not really.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. As always, guys, thank you so much
Thanks for having me.
and thank you for commenting. Thank you for welcoming our wonderful guest, Jamey. And we will definitely have you on again.
Great. Looking forward to it. It's awesome. Glad to be here.
Share, subscribe, do all the things. Make sure you tell your friends about Peaches and Power Bombs. And I'll be back tomorrow for with Ray all day for a TRWC tailgate party, talking all things AEW, Double or Nothing, tomorrow night's Dynamite, all the things. And then also as well on Thursday night, we will have the manager of champions, Eric Nelson, on talking about a very big three-day show that he has next week. I will actually be there. I'll be doing some work for them, so come out and check that out. So I'm here for the next 3 days, everybody. Get used to this face.
Yes, yeah, we'll definitely be on Tom Clark's main event this weekend too.
And Saturday too, yes. All right. Well, if that's it, Alora, we're going to say goodnight to the lovely Peaches out there. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right, we'll see y'all. Bye.
Good night, sweet Peach. It's time to go. Good night, sweet Peach. It's the end of the show. We hate to leave, but we